We are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great day to exist. It is a great day to exist. I have some really good news for you guys. Today must be your lucky day because Omnisphere 3 was just announced and it is going to be dropped officially on, let me get the date for you guys, October 21st. So basically you have 1 week to get your paychecks ready. Because Omnisphere 3 is dropping. We're going to do an can't even say it. I'm so excited. We are going to do an Omnisphere 3 giveaway. So go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere to sign up for free. What we're going to do is pull winners live so people don't think this is a sham. This is not a sham. I'm so excited that I'm willing to buy a copy for somebody else. That's how excited I am. But you have to join our free email list. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere because we're going to be pulling from your email. And whoever wins, we're going to email you. We're going to do it live. And I'm going to draw winners live. So shout out to you guys. I want to thank you guys for hopping in our Discord at discord.gg/busyworksbeats. We got a lot of people in here. Donald is here. We got AKW Beats. We got Maki in here. We got AI Shine. How much is it? Let me check the page real quick. All right. So you can buy it right now, but it won't come out, I think, until October 21st. So it says upgrade price 200, which they should charge money for this upgrade. I was hoping that they would charge money because we need this company to survive. For those who don't know, Eric Persing is, the face of Omnisphere. Their team is, I don't know how big their team is, so forgive me. But Omnisphere is the pinnacle of all things software. I'm a software developer myself, and F my product. If Omnisphere 3 is dropping, it's like Drake dropping. It's like Taylor Swift dropping. It's like Beyonce dropping. You just don't get in the way of Omnisphere 3, period. I don't care who makes products. This is the pinnacle of product design in terms of our culture, the music production culture. This is a pinnacle product. So we're going to get into Omnisphere 3, but man, let me pull up the chat on the screen because this is crazy, y'all. I just was eating dinner, happened to open up YouTube and saw DDS talking about Omnisphere 3. I think it was DDS or somebody. And then I saw Lifestyle did it on Instagram and I was like, let me hop on YouTube. So let's react to it live. I didn't see the full video. I didn't really even see the demo reel on Instagram. I just commented because I already know it's about to be a fire product. Let me link the thing in here so I can pull up the chat. Give me a sec, y'all. But man, oh man, what a time to be alive. As Drake was saying, what a time. Oh my goodness, man. Who would have thought? Just when I thought innovation was going away in our space, boom, Omnisphere 3. And like I said, for those who don't know, Eric Persing, let me pull up his picture real quick. Hold on, I'm pretty sure he has a page, I guess, on the Omnisphere's website, on Spectrasonic's website. So for those who don't know, this is Eric Persing. Let me see his exact role. Creative director of Spectrasonics. So I don't know who runs it, but basically Eric Persing is the face. Okay, so we're going to talk to Eric Persing here. For those who don't know, this man created some of the most legendary pieces of equipment, and he was involved in the development over at Roland. Okay, so we're talking about the D50, which is like your 90s unlocked, like all of your 90s. If you existed in the 90s, you heard the D50. What up, Louis Gold? Man, there's so many people in the chat. I'm gonna say what's up in a second. The JD800, this thing has the best Rhodes sound, or the Crystal Bells keys I've ever heard. And what else here? JV880, you guys use the 1080 for your West Coast beats. The man is behind classics, is my point. And now he, teamed up with Spectrasonics. Again, I don't know everybody at Spectrasonics. It says creative director, but who knows? Okay. The man is the face of the company. So we just kind of see him as the face, at least in my eyes. So somebody asked, what's the price? It's going to be a $200 upgrade, which is nothing. That's Omnisphere, the value you get. Bro, this is like buying a $4,000 keyboard. And I don't mean it in the sense that it has every single instrument, which I'm curious what kind of sounds they're going to put into this thing. Because before, a lot of people used to think it was like a keyboard workstation and a plugin. Okay, he owns and started Spectrasonics, says Lab West. Yeah, I want to show respect. It said creative director. That kind of threw me off. So I don't know if that's like a creative title. But he's definitely the Steve Jobs / of our era. Okay, that's how I see him, and I'm sure 99% of everybody sees him that way. And also too, like Spectrasonics is like NVIDIA to us in this music production space. Most people think Native Instruments is the kind of leading horse, but in terms of like supreme product, Spectrasonics is the supreme product. So we're kind of looking to them for innovation. So I'm curious to see what they drop. So today we're going to go through, there's a whole 30-minute video that I did not watch. I commented because I'm just so excited for this, but I wanted to give a fresh reaction here live with you guys so we can all digest this together. But again, you know, I want you guys to understand Eric Persing is freaking Steve Jobs of our space, and RIP Steve Jobs. But Donald Barth is here, AKW is here, we got Maki here. Who else is up in this chat? AI Shine. So even if you're here just to be here, you don't need to say a bunch, just say what's up in the chat, I'll shout you out. Dia is here, or Dia is here. Play-Doh Party is funny, instead of Playboy Cardi. 3 Cool is here. I'm all out of breath because I just ate, so I didn't like clear room on my stomach to breathe. So bear with my heavy breathing. Here we go. Hopefully they got a payment plan. That's what I was that's what I was thinking too. But you know, for people who don't have Omnisphere, this is a no-brainer plugin, like period. I don't care what the price is, it's a no-brainer. I'm curious because I don't want to leave my comment. I'll leave my comments till after the video. But it is official, y'all. Omnisphere 3 is actually here. There's a purchase page for it. This is not theory. This is the real deal. So I'm going to hit play on this video and we're going to listen to it in real time. And I'll pause it out of respect because I don't want the video. I don't want to just copy and paste the video over here. It's not respectful. I will link their video below this video so that you guys can find it. So check the video descriptions if you're watching the replay of this video. How do you edit videos? Okay, here we go. Edit. Okay. So the full, I linked the Omnisphere 3, but I also linked the YouTube video. What do you call this? YouTube release video, I guess. All right, and then we'll save that under there as the video. All right, so let's get today rocking, y'all. This is absolutely crazy, okay? So let me know if the lighting gets weird or anything. I just want to shout you guys out as we go along. We got Louis Golden here, Jay is in here. Did bro say payment plan? No, it's not free to upgrade. Nitrous, Reslo is in here. Now, this is a company you buy their products. Nah. This is a company where you put respect on their name and you buy the product. The Sky Boys. All right, let's get it rocking. Let me know if my head gets in the way, y'all, okay? Can y'all hear? Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. My man's got the Steve Jobs attire on deck. Let's go. Look at that moving logo too, by the way. All right, so pause it real quick. Look at this, y'all. So okay, man, there's so much to say that I gotta be short about it. One thing about Omnisphere is it had so many sounds that it could have been overwhelming to the average person. Now they did categorize the sounds based on like if it's a bell. Y'all could have told me I was off camera. Nobody was gonna say I was off camera. So one thing about, oh, my head's really in the way. Okay, let's go to this side. Okay, so my thoughts real quick. I'm not going to pause it 1,000 times. I just want to say this real quick. Omnisphere had like 10,000 plus sounds. It was insane, the amount of sounds. Analog sounds from analog gear. It had crazy sounds from real world samples. It had just pads. My fiance loves Omnisphere. Like, this news was so big, I had to tell my fiance, and she was excited. That's how big Omnisphere is in our household. Okay, I hope you guys understand that. Because you could use this for funk, you could use this for wave, you could use this for hip hop, trap. They are basically the Google of what we do, okay? Now, the one critique some people said was like, it's so vast that they needed more help finding sounds. So Omnisphere threw in a sound match feature that nobody was touching. Basically, if you found a patch you liked and you just wanted a different sound, but it was like, oh, thank you, X-Tank. But you wanted a different sound that was kind of like the first sound, you could do sound match. That was a game changer. Now it looks like, I'm theorizing, but if you guys zoom in with me, how do I zoom out? Hold on, my zoom got stuck. Okay, so if you zoom in with me, you see where it says analog vibes. I'm curious if they're gonna drop packs the same way they did the what are they called? The expansions, or they had a name for it, the Omnisphere expansions or something like that. But this will help people understand how to get into sound selection, because that was one huge thing about what made Nexus poppin', is because they made it like genre by genre. But Omnisphere can go way beyond the genre. These guys can invent packs and just create their own sound and be completely brand new and not follow a genre. That's what I love about their company. All right, so let's get this rocking, man. We're only 30 seconds in, yo. I'm so pumped right now. I got to mentally prepare for what we're about to see. I have not watched this video beforehand, so okay. So I just had to make sure everybody was ready to go. Okay, you guys can hear though? The audio's good? Okay, cool. What keyboard is that too? I wonder if they're gonna have a partnership with some kind of keyboard company. Native MPE? Oh,
we have been busy, and we're super excited to reveal the next generation of our flagship instrument, Omnisphere 3.
Let's go.
Our incredible team has been working on this for many years in secret, handcrafting it with a lot of love and a lot of care. And so it's really a thrill to finally get to show it to you guys today. As most of you already know, Omnisphere has something to offer every kind of creator, from beginner to power users and composers, from the advanced sound designers out there to music producers in just about any kind of genre you can imagine.
Daggone right, Eric.
You have probably heard of Omnisphere because it's everywhere. So this new version offers a ton of powerful new synthesis features, an incredible new library of sounds, totally redesigned effects that we're going to talk about later, and much, much more. There's a ton to cover, and we're just going to give you a little taste here in this video, so let's get to it.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so let's start with the sound, because Omnisphere 3 has thousands and thousands and thousands of amazing new sounds from the award-winning Spectrasonics team of incredible artists and sound designers. In fact,
I love how he called. No, I just got to pause it here. I love how he called them artisans. Almost like when you go to the grocery store, you get that like really good bread, and it's made and it's called artisan bread because it's like handmade and like people who know the craft. Man, this is what makes him stand out. Again, shout out to everybody involved with the sound design. I think Houston is involved in some of the sound design. I might be wrong. Maybe J3PO, whoever sound design for this stuff, you know, and Eric, again, he's the face. So, you know, he's kind of like the lead singer in the band. Just got so much respect for him. I interviewed him way back in 2018. But I forget where I put that interview. I'm not sure if it's still up.
Comes with 18 brand new libraries.
Let's go. I love how he's taking the library approach because it gives form to the everythingness of Omnisphere. Like, it gives us a religion to follow. Like, when everything is possible, you need some kind of religion to kind of guide you through the principles of life, just to get you started on what symbols mean. So that's what I love about libraries. It just helps us categorize sounds.
It comes with 18 brand new libraries.
Let's go.
And these are all organized by different sonic vibes and carefully set up for all of our different kinds of users so that everyone gets a great experience.
Live, it's a vocal collection in there.
You won't be able to find the sounds you need because there's so many. We've got some great news because we've definitely been listening to you guys. In fact, I personally curated and went back and remastered the entire factory library with the latest features and effects. And we've come up with a whole new organizational system that's way more intuitive, and it makes it so much easier to find exactly the sounds you need when you need them.
Let's go.
The other thing you're probably wondering is just how much hard drive space are all these thousands of new sounds going to take up on my computer? Well, believe it or not, due to our new lossless optimization technology, Omnisphere 3 takes no more space on your system than Omnisphere 2 did.
I hope you understand how impactful that is. I'm not going to keep pausing it because this video is 30 minutes long. Bruh, the fact that it's not going to be bigger, because you would think Omnisphere 3 means, okay, it's going to be 3 times bigger, which is already like 300 gigs or something like this with all the Trillion and the, you know, I bought Trillion, I bought Omnisphere, I have, what's the other one? The Sonic expansions, Trillion. I feel like I'm missing something in there. But when you add all that together, it gets pretty big. So the fact that this is what I'm saying. They're super innovative. I'll shut up though.
Which is crazy. Okay, next up are some killer new features that make being creative with Omnisphere way faster for every kind of user.
Uh-oh. He's about to get into his bag. But I want to roll it back real quick. I promise you I'm not going to keep pausing it this much. I just wanted you guys to see something. When they were showing the collections here, So if you see sound effects organic, it had film score stuff, it has hip hop stuff, it says retro vibes. And there was one called Vocal Collection, which means they're about to go all the way in. So the critique people used to have was like Omnisphere is very synthy, but there weren't like keyboard workstation type sounds in it. So I think they're leaning to more towards the keyboard workstation type sounds is my guess. I could be way off. All right. Oh, there's J3 right here. Speaking of. $43,000 patches. Good Lord. And this presentation is crazy, first of all. Oh, Stylus RMX, that's the one. That one has so many secret pads in there.
Whether you're an advanced sound designer or a preset surfer, a lot of the time what you really need is just to quickly sculpt the patch to fit your music. The new global controls let you customize any sound in Omnisphere incredibly fast. These smart controls analyze and adapt to the patch automatically, so they always work with musical results, no matter what patch you select.
The main tab looks different. It doesn't have that picture like it used to.
Let's select a patch. I'm going to go up to the directory here, and here are all 18 of Omnisphere's new libraries. Let's check out Analog
I love the library
Vibes.
approach, though. That's exactly what they needed.
How about let's select a pad. We got all these different pads. I'm going to go down to pads.
YouTube went down for this video.
And I'm going to try this Neo reverse patch.
Oh, yeah.
Nice patch.
How you just get a hit us with a ninth chord and just keep going?
Also nice, super
that
resonant.
filter resonant?
Let's add some unison.
But it's like smooth resonance. That unison sounds way cleaner.
Now, that attack for me is a bit long, so let's pull the
they got
amount
mutate
of
function
that attack down just a
shoot.
little bit. And if we bring the attack all the way down,
I love how they just seamlessly do this. It would take me like 7 tries to do this.
Some ambience or reverb to that.
Oh man. So this is definitely a DJ type feature right here that they're showing off. This is for DJs who perform live or just performance people to have those like quick little things like reverb on command.
Although these controls look simple, there's a lot of sophisticated things going on underneath the hood. For example, this ambience control is analyzing all of the reverbs and delays and microphone positions used in the patch. Let's find a patch where I can show you specifically what I'm talking about.
You can tell they practice like a mug for this.
Organic, and let's try some sort of percussive tonal patch. These metallophones.
Whoa, I gotta pause it here. Whoa, as my son says. So look, you guys can select not only, you remember how you open up Omnisphere and it had all these categories like hits, guitars, effects, lead, etc. Now they have libraries, and the libraries are separated by the category. That makes so much more sense. And I'm sure there's a greater directory where you can go to all, but the fact that they have these categorized inside of the different packs, this is going to be so fire. Now, let's pray that the developers added this in. But if Omnisphere allows us to ship our own Omnisphere banks, this is about to be a game changer. I don't know if that's true because that might compete against their business model. But if they allow us to make our own directory bank plus categorize the sounds, it will basically compete against Analog Lab, which is kind of what's keeping Analog Lab relevant, is because all the people are creating their own banks. That's kind of like the whole thing right now. Let's see. Now, the one kind of cultural thing, and I'll shut up after this, is Omnisphere should be and is a paid product, whereas Analog Lab has a free product to get people in the door to share banks and stuff. But to really use it, you have to buy the full product. So they're kind of neck and neck in terms of cultural significance in music production. But I'm curious to see the differences here.
Let's try some sort of percussive tonal patch. These metallophones are sampled beautifully. Let's try this triangle beater.
You can do that in 2? I know you can deliver banks, but I mean like in terms of like with the artwork and everything.
Now, if we increase the ambience all the way to the right,
we can add images
we're going to be hearing
like in
just
Contact
the far microphones.
to make like a real product. I don't have the MPC3 now.
And if we increase the length, we are increasing the time.
Don't give away all the daggone. Here's one thing I asked for the chat. We didn't see the video yet. Don't spoil it, y'all. Please don't spoil it. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking of much. Just don't spoil it. It's kind of like the people who watch Love Island and at the very end they're like, I know who wins. Let me tell everybody who wins so we can ruin it for everybody else. I know you guys are pumped, but for the people who haven't seen it, Just, just hold on. Just hold on. It's like, no, I'm just playing. I did
now,
see the 35
inversely,
minute fixed.
If we bring the amount all the way down, we are hearing just the close mono mic.
What is negative reverb? Bro, that's fire.
So obviously, this is very, very helpful. And
let me run that back because I talked.
The far microphones. And if we increase the length, we are increasing the time of the reverb.
Man's is just freestyling melodies right here.
Now, inversely,
I'm just playing
if we bring the amount all the way down, we are hearing just the close mono mic.
And it's mono. You know how many people are going to go the mono mic route in terms of sound design? It's about to be a whole nother game.
Very, very helpful. And this applies to any patch that you're using. So let's try another one. I'm going to use this patch, covert percussion, low and high. So let's listen to this.
Now, they're talking to a lot of the scoring stuff because you got to remember.
I'm just going to use the length control and we're going to dry it up a bit.
A lot of their paying audience, they get big checks from film, so they can afford a plugin like this. So of course they're going to make sure this is covered.
Let's bring that back up. And now we're going to increase the length to make it even more crazy.
Some of the best sounds we use in hip hop are like film score sounds. I got another car payment for Omnisphere. Funny. The upgrade is 200. The full thing is going to be 500 if you don't have it already. Oh, by the way, for the people who don't know, we're doing an I can't even say Omnisphere. Omnisphere 3 is very hard to say. It's a tongue twister. Try saying Omnisphere 3 times in a row. We're doing an Omnisphere 3 giveaway. So if you guys go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere, when this thing drops, we're probably going to do it at the end of the month to give people time to sign up. Here's the opt-in page. It's very simple. I literally just threw it together before going live because I'm like, this is something fun that everybody can enjoy. So what we're going to do is an Omnisphere 3 giveaway. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. It should take you to this page right here. It should look kind of sloppy because I just threw it together. But it's really just so that we get your email, because what we're going to do with the email is we're going to pick a random email and your first name. So put your right email in here, because when I pick your email, I'm going to email you. And if you win and you don't respond, I'm not going to the next person. You're just going to have to take that L. So we're giving away Omnisphere 3. All right. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. It's completely free to join. And as a thank you, I'm giving you guys 2 free analog banks as a thank you. So basically one will be directly linked in the email. The other one, you have to go into the download vault and go to the presets folder and go to analog lab banks, and it'll be in there. So that's my gift in exchange for you guys taking the time to sign up. Okay. And plus there's the download vault has 1,000 things in there, but let's continue here because
so not only is this super useful, but it can be highly creative.
There's a hand on my shoulder.
And now let me show you something truly remarkable.
Mutations. It's a Tamagotchi.
This amazing feature instantly makes fascinating and useful variations of any patch. Let's try this with an orchestral strings patch. This Adagio string symphony is a beautiful patch, and if you look over here on layers, you'll see there are 4 layers.
Let's go.
Let's listen to it.
I was wondering where the pictures were. It was a nice chord.
If I click this
button. Okay. My brain was so entranced just now, it didn't click. What we just heard was the demonstration that I think Omnisphere 3 is going to lean into more of a keyboard workstation type sound selection, which means no more just ethereal sounds and pads and random hardware sounds. It's going to for real have orchestral sounds in here, potentially vocal packs that they put out. And again, I'm willing to buy packs from this company. They don't need to upgrade for free. And I'm saying that because I want the company to get richer so we can get even better products. They're the only company that innovates the right way in our space, the only one. They're the pinnacle of all product design. And so what we just heard, I know this is small, but they're leaning towards real organic instruments. And currently, Omnisphere 2 is kind of based around synth type stuff. Even though they do have real instruments, it's not seen as Expand 2 or what's the other one people use? What do you guys use for real instruments, Rolling Cloud or something like that? Contact libraries. Imagine this turns into the new Contact library machine. That would be insane.
If I click this button, mutate, boom, we have a brand new patch.
Wait, what just happened?
Variation on what we just played.
Why is he hitting us with these beautiful chords?
That doesn't even exist in Omnisphere. Let's try it again.
Wait, what does he do? So he hits mutate and then it... Wait, I'm trying to understand what's happening. So after he hits mutate, okay, the patch, did you guys see these pictures over here? It changed. So I think it picks random samples and puts them together.
Beautiful patch that doesn't even exist in Omnisphere.
Oh, the Roland or Triton? That makes sense. I didn't think about the Triton. So yeah, I hope they're leaning towards that because it helps people categorize sounds a little bit easier. Yeah, man, we're only 7 minutes in. I need to shut up. But watch him hit mutate real quick.
Let's try it again.
Yeah, it definitely changes these samples. Now imagine we could do multi-keys in Omnisphere. If that's the thing, oh, it's a
Let's
rap.
try it again.
It is a rap. Oh, they're really showing off their strings right here. That means they went in.
Super cool. And what's really interesting is that that's a brand new patch. Nobody else has that. Let's try
How do you know?
using this extreme method where it might
Shout out
even
to
take us
J3PO.
even
He's dope.
further away. That's cool. It even introduced a new synth wave.
So it's like layers
try
that
it one more time.
randomize. That's what I see. It's like randomized layers. That's hard. Bro, this is making me want to make so much dope music just hearing that sound just now.
Wow, what a cool sound. It's important to remember that all
Was
of
that
your
a scripted-
mutations are automatically
just playing,
saved
Jay.
and dated for you, so you can come back to them later. And remember, nobody has these patches except for you.
Omnisphere 3 has so many
Bruh.
new
Oh,
synthesis
shoot.
features that make it even more inspiring
Oh,
for
shoot, y'all.
all our creative patch designers out there. With new full support for MPE, the MIDI polyphonic expression
MPE,
standard,
let's go.
the sky's the limit. Let's jump in and find out more.
All right, guys, go to busyworksbeats.com
Omnisphere 3 has so many
Omnisphere
new
to hop in that.
synthesis features, we could easily
that giveaway.
spend an entire video on each one. So I'm just going to give you a taste of a few here. Have you ever heard of a frequency shifter?
Yes?
It's one of the oldest electronic devices, made originally in 1964 by Harold Boda, who was one of the OG godfathers of the synthesizer. Now, traditionally, you could only use a frequency shifter on the entire sound, which makes it more of an effect rather than an expressive synthesis method. Until now. The new dual frequency shifter in Omnisphere 3 not only gives you two of them to use in series or in parallel, but it's also the first ever polyphonic frequency shifter, and it can track the keyboard as well, making it infinitely more useful
Wait a
as
second.
a method of synthesis.
Bruh. If I'm hearing him right, this was one of my concepts for an effect one time. I hate to give the idea out, but it is what it is. One of the ideas was I was going to play a chord, but I wanted each note to individually do pitch stuff separate from one another. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but if that's the case, then that's crazy. Because that's crazy. And shout out to James too, by the way.
So for example, if we were to use polyphonic aftertouch to modulate the frequency values, we can create really expressive and interesting sounds like this.
FL25, MPC Live 3, and Omnisphere 3. I know, before GTA 6 though. All before GTA 6. How's that possible? I would probably have to sound design this to understand it more. Somebody said, the homie said, if you upgrade, what's the difference between the standard version and the Atmosphere version? I think it's if you're upgrading from Atmosphere, that's the price. Atmosphere is one of their products, right? It was Atmosphere. That was the product. I forgot. Atmosphere, Stylus RMX, Trillion, Omnisphere. So if you bought Atmosphere, I guess you could buy into Omnisphere 3 at $250, which is half the price. And if you already have Omnisphere 2, you could buy into the upgrade for $200, which is fair, is beyond fair of a price. Like this should be $700. This should be way more than $700. What am I saying? Because real keyboard workstations are like $4,000. And like I said, Eric Persing is behind building the most iconic sounds you've ever heard in your entire lifetime. The D50, this man was behind that. you understand how 90s the D50 is? It's almost everything about the 90s. The JD800, the JV880, the JV1080, like R&B hip hop, they kind of centered around those, at least in our world. The 909, I don't know what the MC 909 is, so I don't know what that is, but the man's behind freaking wizardry. Man, okay. So this one is more, I would have to sound design to figure out how to use this frequency shifter, but it's a cool feature though. The AI apologetics are funny.
There are tons of new harmonically rich and expressive wavetables that have been added to Omnisphere's oscillators, opening
I didn't
up
know that,
all
Lab West.
kinds
That's good to
of
know.
new sonic possibilities. Let's have a few examples. We're gonna use this Origami Animals patch.
They got the choir in here. Let's go.
And the cool thing about Omnisphere is that you've got the ability to have these modulating sounds and wavetables and a beautiful woman's choir layered underneath. Let's try something else out. And let's go for this Elite Swiper.
Oh, they got the EDM shapes in there.
Fun. Let's try something else.
So one critique a lot of people had in Omnisphere 2 was like, it is the perfect product, but sound design didn't feel like sound design in Serum. So what they're showing off right now, it seems like, is your ability to treat Omnisphere as if you would a Serum, which Serum, as you guys know, is just a staple in all things EDM, made by Steve Dutta. The newer one is a collab between them and Splice, I believe, Serum 2. And so what I love that Omnisphere is demonstrating here is the ability to keep up with the modern EDM guys type sound design, because those guys are just, they do things that you can't even fathom, the EDM guys, in terms of sound design. So it's interesting to see that approach, but still keep the product for film designers, for EDM guys, for hip hop people, for like, it's a broad product, but it still tackles each use case.
Let's go into, let's say, electronic production. And let's go with the...
We need some house chords right now. I just want to hear some nice house chords from this thing. Silent is the legend. Shout out to Silent. Nexus. The Yuhi. What's you guys' favorite OG synth?
Let's get a little harder now. Let's look in the hard edges and bass sounds and stabs category. And let's go for this foul stabba. Oof, just nasty.
That's good for like video games. I can hear that in a video game for sure.
Quadzone is an incredibly powerful new synthesis feature that allows you to take the 4 layers in a patch and arrange and modulate them in some very cool new ways. The notes mode allows easy creation of splits. So you can see here I've got 4 different layers that are on different parts of the keyboard, like a standard split arrangement.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Now I can also...
All right, I gotta call it now because I don't want to jump ahead and be wrong, because I don't want to get you guys pumped about nothing. But if you guys notice, this little up RR stands for round robin samples. So the flute has the ability to trigger round robin. For those who don't know what round robin is, it basically means every time you hit a key, it plays a different sample. And it goes in order. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're all different samples, and that's what creates a really unique approach. I'm curious to see how we trigger round robin, or if this is just a label for the samples. Because if they have round robin, this means multi-keys will be a thing in Omnisphere, but I'm not sure. I don't want to jump the gun. But I asked you guys, what's your favorite OG synth? You guys said the Yuhi, the Zebra, or the Yuhi, what's the other one called? Diva? Hypersonic, bro. Everybody wanted hypersonic. I never got my hands on one to know what it sounded like. Omnisphere had all that under the hood. Massive Pro 53. Wow, talk about old school. Omnisphere will kill. Fat Planet. You're from the old school Josiah. But yeah, those old school modules had some of the greatest sounds too. FM7, that's old school right there. Nexus was my favorite. SimSynth, wow, that is OG. What was it, SimSynth 1? Or was that Synth 1 I'm thinking of? Planet Fat. I could tell what era you guys came up on. Wow. Proteus, yeah, I know what era you came up on. Ghostface, it is. UVI, Citrus. purity. I was just curious.
And overlap the regions.
Yeah, so Ghostface said, don't forget contact banks and machine. Right, that's what I'm saying. If Omnisphere, I think they're revealing to us. I can't say for sure because I didn't really see what those banks were about. I'm pretty sure they're going to be dropping banks just like Contact. Now, if they allow developers like myself who sound design to create our own banks with our own samples and leveraging their samples too, oh, it's a wrap. But I don't know. I'm not sure. So.
And mute them.
I know we're sounding geeky, but round robin, if that's the thing too,
and then we'll do some crossfading. So you can do positional crossfades and all kinds of stuff. And in this example, you can see how sophisticated you can get because you can do multiple zones. And this is really amazing because it lets you.
I think this is their multi-keys approach. I think so. But this is the defined pitch zone. So if this is the way to do it, it might not be easy for the average person. This is probably only a sound designer's approach to multi-keys, but what he's demonstrating here is technically multi-keys, but it's based on a pitch range. So for example, if you play C to E in one octave, you're going to trigger one sample. But if you play F through B in the same octave, you're going to you're going to play a different sample. Sorry, I'm just so like pumped that I can't speak. Now, again, I'm probably speaking and jumping the gun, so let me shut up.
You have different sounds on each key. So if I play this note here.
This is multi-keys.
That's going to be a different sound if I play this note.
Yeah, he's showing off multi-keys. So this might be their way of going about multi-keys.
So each one's got a different sound.
Yeah, I think they have better string sounds, that's for sure, spiritual. At least from what I'm hearing. Bro, just listen to these sounds. There's nothing bad about the sound that we're hearing. Perfect.
All right,
looping.
let's take a look at velocity switching because we can easily change it to velocities. So down here I've got, if I play soft, you get that. And if I play hard, you get that. And then in the middle, I've got, so I can kind of do.
Oh, I see. So it's left to right velocity from 1 to 127.
Okay, but the most powerful mode is fader, which lets you move between the zones with a continuous source, like a MIDI fader. So let's take a look at that. You can see here we've got 4 overlapping and crossfading zones, and those are all controlled from a MIDI fader. So if I play a note down here.
So the stuff you're seeing right now.
Sound on layer A, and then as I move the fader.
Wait, what fader? Oh, you can control, oh, that's dope. Oh, that's fire. So basically you can, I assume, assign this to a mod wheel and you can play a chord. It might start as a piano. And then as you push your mod wheel up, it turns into a flute. Bruh, that's different. I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere before. But this is the level of sound design this company goes to. And it's not super complicated like a Falcon. UVI Falcon is great, but it's very, very complicated. The Omnisphere just understands their customer. Ultimately, I said Omnisphere like they're the company. But this, you guys, what you're seeing on the screen, this is really for sound designers to go all the way in. So sound designers, I just pray they allow us to make banks for this. That's all I pray for. But that's hard though. And it crossfades it so it doesn't sound unnatural. Or at least he crossfaded.
So that's amazing that you can do all of that just with a fader. But the really amazing thing is that we can use any modulation source to do all kinds of complex fader crossfading using anything.
Wow, we can use an LFO. We could use.
So if we take the envelopes, for example, we can have the envelope sweep through the different crossfadings.
Oh yeah, perfect for soundscapes and cinema scores. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So you get these very interesting harmonics.
This is fire. I like this.
And a sound that is something that you really haven't heard before.
You can link it to velocity.
Another thing we can do is you can, of course, modulate it with an LFO.
That's hard.
And with polyphonic aftertouch, of course, you can speed up the LFOs.
Bro, we're about to hear the craziest beats, yo. We're about to hear the most insane beats coming out of this thing.
That's really, really cool. And now even our MPE sources can be used to go through Quadzone. And this is amazing. Right now I'm using the Osmos to do this, which has all kinds of different MPE dimensions.
So one thing I don't have is an MPE keyboard.
Some of the new sound sources, because we have beautiful deep sampled winds from Pedro Eustache. And so this first layer,
wow, the man even knows the man who
is Pedro playing.
That's what I'm saying. They have so much respect for their craft.
It's a blown ostrich egg, real one, that he turned into an ocarina. And then the second layer,
who decided to turn an egg into
Pedro playing
flute?
his flute, whispering through it to create the harmonic series of overtones as he's breathing and whispering through it.
My man's did a whole photo shoot for this too.
So that makes a really interesting layer to have, and I'll bring that in using MPE. So the first thing we're going to hear is the blown ostrich egg when I play normally.
They better compete with NI. This is going to wipe everybody off the map. Sorry. That's the egg sound?
And you could hear that the new legato also is very, very smooth, very impressive. And so now when I dig into the note, you're going to hear those overtones.
That's the aftertouch. But that's so unique.
So that's super, super fun.
This one product is making me realize I might need an MPE controller. How much are MPEs? What do you say? Osmosis? Let me check the price. If this thing is 1,000 or more, I'm gonna go ahead and say never mind right now. MPE controller. I just want to see how much they cost. Oh yeah, they're in the thousands. So I don't think the culture has caught up just yet to MPE, but it's cool. It's cool to know that exists.
To another one of the new beautiful sound sources, which is our new Italian cello, which is just gorgeous. And what we're going to hear is when I press down gently on the key, that's going to bring in the bowing. And then when I dig into the key, you're going to hear a cello that's an octave higher being added. So let's check that out.
Don't forget, guys, we're doing an Omnisphere 3 giveaway. Go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. We're going to do it probably at the end of the month. Give people time to sign up. We might do it in a month, so I'll say probably November 15th we'll say the winner. And I gotta say, for a chance to win, everybody's not gonna win Omnisphere. We're gonna pick the winner live though. Love how they perform stuff. We need to hear the hip hop sounds, y'all. Where's the hip hop? I need to hear some hip hop. Hip hop, hip. You don't stop, but bang it to the hip hop.
So yeah, it's amazing to be able to do that expression and have all of those dimensions with Quadzone and these incredible deep sampled sound sources. It's super powerful. So let's go back to Synthland to close it out. And I want to show you what you can do with the almost vector synthesis kind of things that you can do where we can, you have an LFO in this case that is sweeping between 4 layers that have different wavetables. And if I press harder, it'll go faster. And if I play, of course, that's polyphonic. So now I can.
This is something only a sound designer would think of. Oh, shoot. That's dope. Hit you with that.
So Quadzone really has so many amazing possibilities.
Mustard somewhere rubbing his hands.
Now let's find out more about the new analog synthesis features.
We're about to have a whole new era. I hope you guys understand. That whole run with Mustard and Drake and all that.
There's been a major overhaul to the analog synthesis engine in Omnisphere, and it now sounds and behaves more analog than ever. You've now got 35 completely brand new filters that take inspiration from classic analog hardware, circuit modeled filter saturation, that coveted analog pitch drift, and a new glide module that models the analog portamento behavior of various vintage synths. Let's take a look at some of this stuff. So let's check out this drift feature, and let's listen to it using this great patch, this CS80 drift.
Before we get into all this, the drift feature was a really unique thing about the Prophet 6 that I have, the Dave Smith, RIP Dave Smith. One thing that was really dope is it had this like slop effect to where like the tuning would be really, really random, but like small amounts, not like huge amounts. And it created this really unique sound. I'm curious if this is like that.
And as you'll see here, the drift dial is about midway. And essentially this is modeling the behavior of an analog synth, a vintage analog synth.
Just think about it. Some of our greatest albums, let me look something up real quick. I hate to, but we gotta look something up for hip hop history. Omnisphere came out. When did Omnisphere drop? Omnisphere release date. Because there's Omnisphere 1, Omnisphere 2. Okay, Omnisphere dropped 2008. Bro, I think we just figured it out. We solved the code, y'all. We solved the code. The reason we had some of the greatest music from the 2009s is because Omnisphere dropped in 2008. This all makes sense now. Some of the best hip hop albums were from 2009 when Drake came out, basically, or 2008, that era, 2007 to about 2015. I think after 2015, we kind of got a Drake run and that was pretty much it. But that music from 2009 to 2015 somewhere, 17 even, that was the run. And it's because Omnisphere came out. That's why we had the run, y'all. I know that sounds like an epiphany to some and like randomness to others, but that's why that music was so special back then.
Where the oscillators are subtly drifting naturally in terms of pitch and phase. So let's listen to this patch right now.
And we got trap in 2015. 2015, I feel like that's too late for trap. Because in college, I was listening to Gucci Mane mixtapes, so that's not right, Ghostface. Trap was definitely before 2015, because I was in high school when trap came out.
Hear what it sounds like with no drift. It still sounds nice, but it's definitely a bit more musical when we have some drift engaged.
Wait, Gucci Mane, Jeezy,
almost to the maximum. Just a nice amount. Let's listen to what this sounds like now.
Camel audio. I forgot about Camel audio. I guess that's his pitch wheel. That's pretty dope.
So it's really nice to have those analog style controls in Omnisphere that help us get closer to that coveted vintage analog sound.
All right, so they got the film score people, they got the analog people, we need the hip hop people. Where's the hip hop?
And of course, from day one, Spectrasonics was founded on the immense possibilities.
They got the EDM people, they got the film people, they got the...
we're always over here discovering crazy new recording techniques to grow Omnisphere's unique core sound source library. With version 3, we've just expanded it with a vast array of new deep sampled sound sources that explore new sonic realms and takes our creative sampling work
Bro, that has to cost at least $1 million to sample all that stuff.
You'll discover a blown ostrich egg, tonal sand, nickel harpa, celestiphone, lyre harps, magic wand metallophones, the gorgeous Sultasto cello.
Who harpa? Hold up, run that back. Oh, we're just joking, Eric, but wait. What harpa? Come again?
You'll discover a blown ostrich egg, tonal sand, nickel harpa, celestiphone.
Nickel harpa? Let me Google this so I could just... What is a nickel harpa? Nickel harpa instrument. Oh, nickel harpa. Okay. Okay. Just checking. Just making sure. This is what it's called, a nickel harpa. Okay, I just heard that a little fast. I was just double checking, that's all.
Phone, lyre harps, magic wand metallophones, the gorgeous sul tasto cello, percussive snow, piano harmonics, tongue slap flutes, and so much more. And now let's talk about some really huge news. We are strong believers in the idea that synthesizers are always the most inspiring when you can interact with them physically. So we've been hard at work here and are happy to announce that we have vastly expanded our hardware integration. Omnisphere 3 now supports every major brand with over 300 new profiles. Best of all, it's no longer limited to just synthesizers, but we now support all controllers too. Check out how easy it is to use.
This is going to be a game changer depending on how they go about this.
Hardware integration bridges the gap between both hardware and software worlds, giving you hands-on control of Omnisphere. One of the coolest things about the new hardware integration support is you might not even have to buy anything new. Many of you probably already have a supported synth or controller sitting around your studio. For instance, over here, I have the Akai MPK Mini Plus.
About daggone time. We needed the hip hop conversation. I was ready to fall asleep until no, I'm just playing. But thank goodness they brought up the hip hop conversation. Shout out to Akai. They have a new MPK controller out currently. I forget what it's called, MPK 3 or something like that. But about daggone time. So I'm curious. I have a Prophet 6 behind me. I'm curious, like, what does it mean to plug up my synth to Omnisphere? Does that mean like I can modulate inside the DAW and it controls my hardware? Is that what that means? Because that would be something I can't do with my hands. I'm curious why you would want to hardware integrate.
I'm on the road all the time and in my studio. It's really small. So to get this set up, it's quite easy. All we have to do is go up to the hardware menu and go down.
Pause. Let's see what companies they got. They got Alesis, they got Behringer, they got IK Multimedia. Shout out to IK Multimedia. They got Arturia, they got Akai. Okay.
To our brand, Akai and my.
They got the MPK. I don't know the MPDs and all. I don't know the differences here, but they got the Akai stuff. Dang,
and then go down and find our keyboard.
They got Native Instruments. They got Moog. Korg. Uh-oh. Tell me they got the Korg Kronos on the list.
MPK Mini Plus. And boom. Now this controller is controlling Omnisphere and it's controlling the global controls. So let's check this out. So we got cutoff here.
Keyboard controls will work on screen based on the hardware.
And we even have the envelope.
So basically I can use my DAW to modulate my hardware stuff. That's kind of what I'm understanding the utility would be. Now this I could see for a performer. So if you wanted to get that natural performance out of your takes instead of just do, you could like really perform it. That's what I think he's showing off here. Now it's hard to play and perform at the same time. So this is for like real musicians.
And we got.
And just to make quick little changes as you're playing instead of overly thinking about it. Oh, you said no. You said no novation. Let me see. My fault. I didn't see you guys' chat. You know what the screen cut off? It's probably under N.
And then go.
It says Native Instruments, so I assume there's more companies underneath Native Instruments.
Down and find our keyboard. MPK control cut off here.
But to be honest, though, this is cool. Do people really utilize this, though? Do you guys do this with your MIDI controllers, like link stuff to the only time I really linked a my MIDI controller thing to my actual plugins was inside of Guitar Rig when I wanted to do a wah guitar. I did it with my fader. That's like the only time I really am doing stuff as I'm playing, because it's hard enough to play. Then you got to nudge a knob. So, I mean, do you guys actually assign your stuff to your MIDI controller? Or I think this is more for EDM type people. Or like musicians. This is for performers who perform.
Reverb, ambience.
Tyrone is in here. What up? Novation is a yes. FL Keys is a yes. Sick. Tyrone got the scoop. Man, I need to hear some hip hop beats. Oh man, don't leave us hanging like this. I need to hear a hard trap beat. So again, this is cool for a performer and a sound designer who wants to make quick little tweaks as they're sound designing.
Computer, we're already off to the races with our own sound design and creating our own patches. Hardware integration is amazing. Be sure to check it out.
I never really got into the hardware integration thing.
We have spent years completely redesigning the effects in Omnisphere.
Now this is interesting for all production
model technology. With 35 brand new incredible sounding effects units, bringing the grand total to nearly 100, it's pretty safe to say that Omnisphere now has the most comprehensive suite of high quality effects of any synthesizer ever made.
Talk that ish, Eric. Talk that ish. Now these are creative effects, so this is not just like your basic stuff. This is stuff that actually makes a quality change in your audio. They have a half, whoa, okay, I gotta run this back because I thought he was gonna say something, but he didn't. Okay.
Any synthesizer ever made.
All right, super verb. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is a chamber reverb because it says chamber right there. Velvet verb, I assume this is made from like 70s reverb, plate reverbs and stuff like that. Solar shimmer, this is a granular effect over top of a reverb, so that's going to be fire. This alone for trap is going to be huge. This solar shimmer, I guarantee you guys, this is going to be the game changer for half of you. Inversions, this probably reverses stuff. It says flip 1 bar, so I assume, but then it says reverb. So maybe this is like a reverser. That's my guess. I don't know what that means though. Oh, it says reverbs right here. Okay. So inversions, I don't know what that would be. Flip, what would flip mean? Flip 1 bar. Maybe it reverses the reverb into itself. That'd be interesting. All right, so here's delays. Refraction seems like a time stretched delay to give us more of a granular type sound to the delay. Swiss Army delay seems like just your go-to analog type delay with drift involved. I'm curious what the More tab has, if it has any distortion units on it or like any saturation on it. Backward echo is definitely reversed delay. Magnetic echo is probably pitch bending delay, if I had to guess. But also I see a drive knob, which means you could saturate the sound. Oh, reverse reverb, that's gonna be crazy too for trap designers. Flip backwards, this is definitely a reverser of some sort. And this is kind of like going after RC20's lane right here, just this plugin alone. Then you have Pump-O-Matic. This is definitely going to be a side chain pumper for like, like that. That's going to be fire for EDM and R&B. Half speeder, this is going to be crazy. If this slows stuff down inside of Omnisphere, this is going to be mega huge for trap. So we have at least 1, 2, about 6 effects already that are going to be big for trap. Warp shifter, don't know if that's going to make a huge change in trap. For EDM guys, yeah, this is going to be something. Pulsar split, again, another kind of wave shaper, more for the EDM guys. Ring of Fire, this is a ring mod. That's like, I don't even know the application for ring modulation outside of like really unique sound design. Probably for the more of the film score guys on that one. All right, it says modulation unstable drifter. So this is definitely a pitch modulation and it adds noise from the Juno chorus unit. So that's gonna be dope for like really making your melody sound textured. Chameleon super chorus is gonna be, I guess, analogous to hyperchorus in FL Studio if you guys are familiar. Barber pole phaser is again, probably more for EDM bass, but that's cool to have though. All right, we got the LA2A looking compressor up here. So that's going to be great with just, oh, it's even called optical LA. So these are basic compressors, not basic, but I mean classic. That's the word I was looking for. Your LA2A is really good on everything. It's really good on my vocals specifically. I have a deeper voice. It just makes everything pretty much sound musical. You could use it on literally everything. It just sounds good. The 1176 usually used on vocals and drums because it's fast attack setting most of the time. So wow, we get the classics, and this is definitely a Fairchild down here, the 1950s tube compressor. It has that Fairchild type look. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is in that lane. I could be wrong though, because it says UK, US, and EU model. All these give it different harmonics, I assume. Maybe that's like a Neve, I'm not sure. Then it says dynamics. So this is a multi-band compressor. Let's go. We got a multi-band compressor. FL Studio hasn't even added a multi-band compressor. Omnisphere delivered before FL. So we have a multi-band compressor inside of here. That's just good for everything in general. Usually EDM guys use it to tame their harmonics. And then we have a solid state or an SSL type compressor right here for just, again, usually bass, drum type stuff. Just in general, this is used for a lot of stuff. Oh, Pultec, that's what that was doing. Ooh, this is dope. Coloring, they have saturation, they have tape saturation, they have vintage enhancer, which I guess is going to pull up textures in your beat, in your sound. So this does compression, and I don't know what it actually does. I assume it's some kind of harmonic thing that kind of pulls out the noise of your sample. I don't know. I haven't heard it. Then we have a tube saturator, which adds very musical harmonics. Tube is a little more vibratey, a little more, what's the word? Like gritty. And then we have, excuse me, y'all. Down here is a noise maker, and you could select the noise. Now I'm curious if we can upload our own background noises in here and save that as a patch, because that'd be fire too. But yeah, you can see the cassette tape noise. So that's going to be really, really fire. So basically the effects we saw so far, if you're a melody maker and a loop maker of any sort, this is like Candyland for you guys. They dropped basically like 50 plugins, not just one. Here we have the EQ chain. Now EQs are really just for tone. Some older EQs add harmonics. So it's not just for tone, it adds harmonics, hence why this thing has a preamp on it. So we have British, which I think is the Neve. I don't know. It has Neve looking stuff on it. This one's Super Channel. I can't make out what that would. Oh, it even says API, Neve, or Pultec. Okay, so you have 3 different major companies of their EQs all in one: API, Neve, and Pultec. This one I'm not sure what this British unit would be. I don't know the exact brand name on that, but this is definitely API looking knobs down here at the bottom. For that type of EQ. This one's used for more rock, the API stuff I've seen. The one in the middle, probably more rock and like Beatles type stuff. And then the one at the top is this hip hop on Pultec. Neve is usually used for, I don't know, I've never really seen people go for a Neve EQ. And then API, definitely just anything rock related. Yeah, they really went in. Man, there's more. Okay, so here are tube EQs. So these are going to add harmonics to your sound, not just boost. This is basically similar to Spectre, if you guys are familiar. So that's going to be fire for more bass type stuff, like snare can't speak. We have distortion units. So if you want to run your, guitar type presets through here, Neve is EDM. Oh, I didn't know that. So the Mean Machine, this looks like it's probably going to be an extreme aggressive amount of distortion. But multi-band distortion, that's going to be interesting because this reminds me of Saturn too. So they're really coming after like every plugin right now. Oh, Neve was used by Premiere. Shout out to Premiere. Oh, DJ, I thought this said Premiere. DJ Premiere. Or did you mean Premiere? Oh yeah, maybe you didn't mean Premiere. Okay. Dr. Dre, 1073.
And one more thing. Yep, you can now...
Oh, I didn't think of the 1073 as an EQ. I forgot it does have a little EQ.
Also use all your incredible Omnisphere effects in your DAW. As a special bonus, Omnisphere 3 includes an Omni Effects rack plugin.
So this is similar, if you guys are familiar, to the Sound Toys rack unit. Do you guys use Sound Toys? Comment yes in the comments if you have Sound Toys. So they really came for everybody, bro. They didn't just come for the synth guys and the Rolling Clouds of the world and the native instruments. They came for, now the one thing they didn't talk about was, can we make our own banks, and will this be like a contact library bank? Because that would take Omnisphere to the moon. If they allow us to make our own banks in here, it's a wrap. They've created Xbox. All we need to do is get the game developers on board. But if you guys are familiar, this is the Sound Toys effects rack. So basically, Sound Toys is kind of like the go-to creative effect unit that people kind of go to for just general things. It's kind of like the go-to just creative effects. It's not just super technical stuff. It's creative. So they created their own version of, in my opinion, the Sound Toys approach, which rack units are not new to the world of music production, but that was the main company who kind of approached it with a rack approach. Steven Slate did more of the technical rack unit approach, but the creative rack was from Soundtoys.
To use all these incredible effects on anything.
You said Soundtoys cost more than Omnisphere? All right, so they're showing off the effects here. I'm reading the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right, so I guess they're showing off. I missed the rack unit. What was on the chain? I didn't really see. So this is clearly a reverb. If I had to guess, a compressor. Wonder why they're not like putting beats and rhythms behind it. It's just like sounds. This is worth more than the Soundtoys. Whatever. Shout out to Current in the chat. He said, bro, this is like one of those like 1960s movies where it's like, now welcome to the simulation. The simulation where we...
Omnisphere many years ago. We said it would take a lifetime to explore all the...
I'm late. I'm like 7 hours late. I saw this from, I think DDS posted it. I might be mixing that up on YouTube, like general feed. And then I saw Lifestyle did it on Instagram, talked about it. And then I saw the actual thing and I'm like, or maybe it was like I saw the thing and then I saw Lifestyle did it talk about it. I'm pretty sure Lifestyle did it, put me on because I had no idea this is even coming out. But I did see somebody posted it to YouTube. I think it was DDS. So that was the first thing I saw. Then I went to Instagram and Lifestyle was in the first like 3 posts. And then I went to the official Spectrasonics and I was like, oh, freak, this is real. And then I went to YouTube again and I was like, freak, they have a video about it. So let's hear what he has to say in closing.
Possibilities. Today, those possibilities have grown a lot, and there's so many new ways to use it. We love doing what we do, and so we can't wait to see how you guys are going to create
about to be a sample
with Omnisphere 3. Have fun.
Oh, we gonna have some fun. This is fire, yo. Let's go. About time we got some drums. Here we go. All right, then it goes on for I'll never forget, man, when Omnisphere first came out, people were making like beats back then, and then it would be like made by Omnisphere, and it was such a mystical experience. Like, wow, man, he's using Omnisphere. Those sounds are so crazy. Like everything sounded so much different when Omnisphere first dropped, and this explains it so much because Omnisphere dropped in 2008. That's when music changed the sound. Okay, Omnisphere came out. Again, we're going to do an Omnisphere 3 giveaway. So if you guys want a chance to win, go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. Click here for the Omnisphere 3 giveaway. Now, even if you don't win, I'm going to give you free stuff just as a thank you for joining into the giveaway. So here's what the page looks like. If you go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere, we're going to probably pick the winners November 15th, give you guys a month to get a chance to sign up because I don't know when people are going to see this video. So enter to win. We're going to pull a winner live from the list of emails. So put your real email, because when I email you guys the fact that you won, it better be your real email, because don't let it go to spam. Don't let it go to the promotions tab and you don't claim your Omnisphere 3. So make sure you put your real email so you can actually, when I email the winner, you can actually see the email, okay? And I'm also, too, going to give you guys 2 free analog lab banks just for entering today, and also access to our entire download vault, which has so much stuff in it that I don't even know how to explain. It's just project files in there, sounds in there, MIDI, music theory charts, mixing charts, free books in there that I've written, like hundreds of pages of books I've written. Man, there's so much in our download vault. It's insane, really. So we got templates in there, all types of stuff. So just go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. It's completely free to hop in. And then once you sign up on this page, make sure you check your email to get the welcome email with the link for the analog lab bank and to get the second analog lab bank. Let me show you guys what the download vault looks like. Why am I describing something when I could just show it to you? How about I just show you? Duh. How do you guys feel about Omnisphere? Let's take a little vote. Out of 10. So out of 10, what do you rate Omnisphere so far from what you saw? Before GTA 6 is crazy though. GTA 6 is really taking its sweet old time. Now, GTA 6 will be the pinnacle of every product ever created on the planet Earth in terms of entertainment. That will be the pinnacle product. I guess the iPhone would be underneath that, and then underneath that is Omnisphere 3. That's the ranking of product development. Where are we at here? So let's go to, here's the vault, by the way. So when you sign up with your email, this is what the vault looks like. You have airdrop folders, beat folders, books folders, a charts folder, Helios, a demo pack for Serum 2, Instagram downloads, MIDI, multi-tracks to practice, mixing, plugins, presets, project files, sounds. Like it's a ridiculous amount of stuff. If I even go to the project files, like you can keep scrolling and scrolling, keep scrolling. Like it's just insane amount of stuff in here. All right, so I want you guys to get in on the fun and also hop in our Discord. That's why I'll keep the community updated on anything that I hear around this product, but also just in general. So to go to discord.gg/busyworksbeats, that's where we have the actual producer city. You guys are ranking out of 10. You said 8 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm surprised they're selling it for the same price. It's almost like the Costco hot dog. How are you selling the hot dog for the same price, bro? Inflation. How are they not inflating prices right now? So their company definitely delivers the most value out of every single company in our space. There's no company higher than their value that they give out. Is in terms of the money you exchange for their product. So we want to make them as wealthy as possible, because if we make them as wealthy as possible, we're going to get even better products. You want the top dogs to constantly deliver. You don't want, that's what we want to do. We got to keep them pumping. We have 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, considering what I saw today. You'll be 100 when GTA 6 comes out. 10 out of 10. Can't wait for GTA 6. Uninstalling COD. What? You don't have enough space on your thing? Teflon Don is here. Get you a terabyte of Xbox hard drive. Haven't seen anything for hip hop. That's what I'm a little, not even concerned, but I'm sure they're going to drop more videos. But but they did kind of drop hip hop stuff, but you had to like decipher it. It wasn't like, here's our hip hop thing. It was like, I think their hip hop stuff was those effects they dropped. They dropped a ton of effects that are definitely going to be used for hip hop, because you could drop them on samples, you could put them on melodies, you could put them on anything. So hip hop is definitely going to benefit from that. A welcome one says, do we got to pay again? If you already have Omnisphere 2, you get it. Oh, here's the price page, by the way. Sorry, I meant to pull this up. So the price page is linked in the video description. The current price to upgrade if you're already on Omnisphere is $200. That's nothing, bro. You're getting like a $4,000, $5,000 keyboard for $200. That's $0 basically. You're not paying anything. Now, if you are just now getting into Omnisphere, $500. If you ever have to debate if Omnisphere is worth it, the answer is yes. It's always yes. This is the only company I can say without a doubt. I don't even need to hear all the sounds. I can guarantee this is worth the money. It will always be, because of who's behind it. And that's because, again, Eric Persing is a person I know, not personally, but I interviewed him one time. But the man is behind legendary quality. Like, the reason we love keyboards from back in the day is that sound quality. He's behind that. So when you know somebody who knows the real quality of sound, like when you hear an analog synth versus like a plasticky synth, he knows the difference. So he's delivering just based off of just experience alone. So again, to hop in for free, go to Busywork. I know I keep saying it, but I don't want to have you guys forget. And then when you forget, and then when I call the winner, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to sign up. Click here for the Omnisphere 3 giveaway. Now, it's a chance to win. This does not mean everybody's going to win. This is not a sweep, or should I say sweepstakes or giveaway? I don't know the difference. But basically, we're going to be giving away to a winner. We're going to do one copy right now, because shoot, you have to be a new customer, which means it's going to cost me $500. Actually, the old Omnisphere 2 cost $600. From what I remember, I think it cost $600. So the fact that they went down in price is crazy to me. All right, so that's all I had to react to, but I just wanted to show you guys all the free downloads you guys get just for going to that link. There's a ton of stuff in here, like a ridiculous amount of stuff. Presets for Omnisphere even. We got Omnisphere presets in here. Serum 2, all types of stuff. All right, so go ahead and get your freebies on. Man, we got to celebrate this somehow. I guess tonight I don't know if I feel like doing it tonight, but I'm definitely going to be making videos about Omnisphere 2 because now I'm pumped. Now I'm pumped. And I'm going to see if I can buy this. Can you buy this right now? Let me see. Okay, you can't buy it just yet, but the buy button is there, which means it's going to be there, hopefully, God willing, on the 21st. They have merch, bruh. How do I not have a Spectrasonics t-shirt right now? How did I not know this? Debating if I want this hat or not, because it's definitely a dad hat, but it's kind of cool, though. And support services. New Orleans Strut. When did this come out? Oh, Stylus. Okay, didn't see that. This is the one product I never got, Stylus RMX, but Metro Boomin was talking about it. Oh, shout out the, there they go. Spectrasonics. Hey, thanks for the love. Now, y'all are creating freaking, you guys are setting the bar. You guys are redefining music at the core. I don't know if you were here for it, but we looked up when Omnisphere dropped. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. I'm not going to take your time too much. Omnisphere release date. This might be wrong, but it says September 15th, 2008, Omnisphere 1 dropped. This was such a pinnacle time because I lived in this time. This is when hip hop changed. And I was like, oh, freak, hip hop changed when Omnisphere dropped. That's why we got the best music from 2008 up to about 2017. In my opinion, was the best hip hop music, period. It was a golden era for hip hop. And Omnisphere was the common denominator. That was it the whole time. Shout out to James from Spectrasonic. Shout out to Eric Persing, another just infinite GOAT forever. Again, I call him the Steve Jobs of our space, whatever you want to call it, our industry, whatever the word is, our space. He's definitely that. I know he's the face, and everybody else involved in Spectrasonics. I don't know everybody. J3PO was in the video. There was a girl singing. Shout out to her. And who else popped up? And James, if I didn't already shout out James. I think those are the 3 people we saw, 4 people. So, man, y'all go to Spectrasonics website. The link is in the video description. Just go to spectrasonics.net and right on the homepage, I think it's actually on the homepage. Yeah, you can't miss it. So if you go to spectrasonics.net, you cannot miss Omnisphere 3. It's right on the homepage. Click here for Omnisphere 3. Now, you already know I'm going to send an email when this thing drops. So check your emails. But all you got to do is go to spectrasonics.net, click here where it says Omnisphere 3. What's exciting is they have the buy button, so they don't give you blue balls waiting on it. You can click buy to satisfy that need to just click on buy. Okay, and it even gives you the prices so you don't have to guess. And it's a standard upgrade, which is most people are going to pay $200. That's nothing. Like I said, my keyboard that I'm using right here is like $4,000 and it barely touches what Omnisphere gives you. So this is really costing nothing. You're basically upgrading for free. The value supersedes the price to the point where it's not even a fair exchange. I feel like we're robbing Spectrasonics some type of way with that price. So if you're a first timer, Omnisphere 3, like I said, you can ask anybody in the producer space. Nobody's ever going to have anything negative to say about Omnisphere. They might complain here and there, but nobody will ever say Omnisphere is never the top bar. There's nobody on the planet that I could think of that would ever not suggest Omnisphere 3. So if you're a new beginner, get Omnisphere 3. If you're an existing person on Omnisphere, the upgrade is a no-brainer. If you came from Atmosphere, which somebody said was like one of the earlier renditions of it, that seems like a no-brainer too. So for everybody, this is a no-brainer. I'm pumped. I ran out of stuff to talk about, but y'all, this is crazy. 10 out of 10s. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just like, how much good news is coming this month, man? This month is delivering so much good news. All right, y'all, I don't want to waste time. I want the people who are watching the replay to be able to watch this in a concise manner. So shout out to everybody at Spectrasonics. Good Lord, you guys are about to take over. And we're wishing your company $1 billion. All right, y'all, peace.